It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in cinema, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
Also, we have Murray, who I did not see at the cinema this week. Did you get a chance to watch anything, Merman?
Nope.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Ooh, thanks to all been supporting us. If you love our dependent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And you know what? We'll watch it if it played anywhere else in the world. In a cinema. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event, or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca. The Amazing Murman predicts.
Is that what I'm doing? I guess so. Well, I just watched the trailer for that first one.
Nice.
That one I would actually like to have seen.
Okay.
Except for it was playing
to
at a
me.
theater I will never go to again.
There you go.
It's my favorite theater.
Yeah, it's my least favorite.
Oh,
Especially
there's a
now
story.
since they won't hire me.
Yeah, there you go. That's a reason not to go.
Don't know what that
and
has
I
to do
also
with the price
spent-
of tea in China.
I also
but-
spent the better part of 2 weeks basically living there. So.
There you go.
That's-
And he doesn't like going back to where he lives.
So did I.
Yeah, but you got to sit and watch movies.
Oh,
That's right.
I had to do other stuff.
He had to make money. He had to put coin in his purse.
I had to keep the
lights on.
the moving pictures going,
Moving.
which wasn't always easy.
That's right.
So yeah,
His fingers were worked to the bone.
if it played anywhere else, I might have thought about it. But anyway,
All right.
yeah, it's got Peter Dinklage in it apparently.
Yes.
Sure does.
And
Dinklage.
Hathaway, who you guys don't like,
That is true.
That is also
and
true.
Marisa Tomei, who you guys also don't like.
I like Marisa Tomei.
Yeah, she's
But
okay.
based on what I saw in the trailer, I figured you both gave it a Mondo. It was just quirky enough that you probably loved it.
So Mondo. Okay.
All right.
Mark
The
that
Exorcist,
down.
I didn't even bother watching the trailer for this. I could tell how bad it was going to be.
What?
Much as you love your Exorcist movie.
I do like demons.
It's a remake. You might have
Not
given
a
it-
remake. It's a sequel.
Whatever. Same shit, different pile.
30 years later.
30 years
Same
later.
shit, different pile.
Is it 30 or actually 40?
40 years later.
45?
50 years
50 years
later.
later.
Sorry,
Yeah.
50 years later.
Yeah, Ellen Burstyn is still alive.
Yeah, she's in her 80s or 90s, maybe.
She is.
I don't know. I think Jim might have given it a mad just based on how much he loves this genre. I'm pretty sure Bryce gave it a rage.
Oh,
Interesting.
this is very interesting.
I am super interested.
Yeah,
Are you? I'm not.
this may be his. No, I'm not going to give any spoilers.
Well, you don't know what I gave these films. I think you have an idea of what I gave them, but you might not be right.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Yeah, you know what? I saw his expression and impression of what he visualized after the performances
out.
that we witnessed. But you're right, Murray and Bryce. I don't know.
No.
So, Bryce, why don't you tell us about She Came to Me.
All right, sir. She Came to Me is a film with a lot of moving parts. Peter Dinklage plays Stephen Laudham, a composer who writes operas, but is dealing with writer's block. Anne Hathaway plays his wife Patricia, who is a therapist with an obsession for cleanliness. Marisa Tomei is Katrina, a tugboat captain who is addicted to romance and may have stalked the occasional man in the past because of this addiction. Evan Ellison as Julian is the son of Stephen and Patricia, and he is on the fast track to a bright future.
He is.
His girlfriend is Teresa, played by Harlow Jane, who is 2 years his junior and is also on track for success. Her stepfather, through adoption, Trey, is played by Brian Darcy James, and he is a Civil War reenactor who is also a court reporter where he has gained some legal knowledge that he is very proud of and lets you know about it. His domestic partner and mother of Teresa is Magdalena, played by Joanna Kulig.
Can we just pause for a second?
You really need to know the entire cast.
Since when do you tell everybody the entire cast?
So she is an she is an undocumented immigrant who is also the cleaning lady for Stephen and Patricia.
What?
Who are the parents of Julian, whose girlfriend is Teresa, whose mother is the aforementioned Magdalena.
Okay, so I'm getting the
lost me
picture.
already.
Exactly. This is the point he's trying to make.
We have that convoluted mess going on, along with a stalker tugboat captain thrown in the mix. How does this film not completely lose its cohesiveness is beyond me. And yet, although there are times in the first three quarters where it seems they have no way of effectively resolving any of these characters' stories, it somehow finds its way, and while a little messy, it all comes together to a satisfying conclusion. The film had no business being as good as it was, as the setup was rather ridiculous, as you can hear, as from the first part of my review tells the story.
That wasn't a review. It was just telling the characters and how they interact.
Which is, you can't keep track of any of it. It's ridiculous that all this is going on at once. But there's so many convenient coincidences as well at every freaking turn. But the characters were all given the time to develop, and the performances were all very good. Plus, we got a taste of an opera about a homicidal tugboat captain that will leave you wanting to see the entire opera. And then there's another opera at the end, which you'll also want to see.
There's so much opera.
And every bit of opera is brilliant. I really, really liked She Came to Me a lot. It wasn't Mondo because I had problems with the first, basically 2/3. But it did come together. It was saved. But at the end of the day, it was meh. Liked it a lot, but it was meh.
All right. So, initially, a couple of weeks ago, we thought we had never seen a movie interact an opera with a play with a movie.
Now that's all we watch.
And that's all we watch. It's like that's the only thing we ever want to watch now is movies with operas, plays inside of movies.
Yeah, if that's the synopsis, sign me up. I'm there.
Right? Because the war reenactment,
they're batting 1,000. Really,
the war reenactment is also a play. So there you have it.
There you go.
Yeah. So y'all know me. It's a romance film. I'm normally not interested.
Is it though?
At all. But apparently,
yes.
If it's a double romance, there may be twice as much chance that I may not hate it as much. Or perhaps...
Two negatives make a positive when you multiply them together?
Possibly. Perhaps, though, that's where She Came to Me is teaching me.
Oh.
I've been doing this all wrong.
Okay.
I need to be watching double romance films.
Right. Or just watch two at the same time.
Yeah, or maybe watch two at the same time. But, maybe if they were written brilliantly with subtle comedy sprinkled in, cast with amazing actors.
That's what you need to do.
All at the top of their game.
Right.
And instead of making it very, very pretty much like every other romance film I've ever seen.
It was not that. Yep.
Make it creative and quirky.
Nice.
even though the story does kind of follow the pattern of most romance films, where it comes together by happenstance and convenience, as you kind of alluded to.
A lot of that, yeah.
In the wrong hands, this is extremely annoying and rage-inducing. Rebecca Miller as writer and director, and I don't need to list out the cast because Bryce has already done that.
Yeah, in detail.
Yeah. So Rebecca Miller as writer and director creates a world that is inviting and creative and rich characters that will have you rooting for them when they are in situations that seem like typical romance situations. And damn, the writing was so well done. And Peter Dinklage was so believable as an erotic composer in a loveless marriage with an at one time thought to be repulsive Anne Hathaway, who was so amazing in this, who plays a nun, mother, and most of all, psychiatrist, who decides to strip for her client. Sorry, and also a wife.
That was a bit of a shock.
To our lead, Mr. Dinklage.
Yes.
This does what all romance films does, except in this one, where you find it hard to believe coincidences thrown in. It has actually created characters so deep and dialogue so fresh and creative, the coincidences just seem to make sense. My name is Jim. I'm addicted to double romance, well-written drama, comedy, romance, operas. Yes, I know I have a problem. And this film was Mondo.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it.
I know you did.
The fact that Bryce was having problems with all the convolutedness, that actually made my experience even more enjoyable.
There are times in this film where I wasn't it took me a while to get into it. Once I did, I was into it, but it took maybe.
It is interesting because it is a typical romance film. You can't escape from the fact that they keep the format. But because one of the things that I think romance stories do so badly is that the characters are paper thin and have no complexity whatsoever.
There is not one paper thin character in this
that's what I'm saying.
There are layers on top of layers of every single person in this movie.
Yeah, and so many layers so that even though it's telling a double love story, that you're not I'm not annoyed by the fact that it's a love story, because even though all the coincidences happen, all the things that are in every other love story happens, but because the characters are so well developed, you actually care for them, and you're not looking at the screen going, "Oh my God, does she need a man in her life? Is that the only thing that makes her whole?" No.
And I do not disagree with anything you're saying.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Murray, I think you probably would have liked this one too.
I'm sure I would have loved it.
Yeah. Well, we'll rent it when it comes out on VOD. You and me, and we can hold hands and watch it.
It'll hit Crave eventually.
In VOD we trust.
In VOD we trust. Yeah, there's some unpacking here. I don't think there was a cast member in here who was not at the top of their game.
Yeah, I think everybody was really good. And, honestly, Brian Darcy James was unbelievable. If you were supposed to hate this guy, and if you didn't, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because I hated him.
Yeah.
And, man.
But he did so well at what he was doing.
Perfect. Well, exactly. that's a good thing that what a horrible person this guy is.
Yeah, so not to spoil too much of the story, Murray, but this guy is the stepfather of the girl who's 16 in this, who falls in love with an 18-year-old. And it's because she skipped.
They're in the same grade.
Yeah, she skipped a grade. And just based on their age timelines, they, start having sex like most teenagers do.
What?
And I guess whatever state they're in, it's statutory rape at whatever age it is. So he's a court reporter, and they're, magically in love, and also are going to college the next year. So she's going to be in college at age 17. So through all of the love story that's happening, they throw another red herring in there where he says, "Yeah, I'm going to press charges, and this guy's going to prison for life. He needs to go to jail, and they need to learn a lesson."
Yeah, there's just so much going on in this film.
Yeah,
there were stories on top of stories on top of stories, and I don't know how they kept it all straight, but she did a good job of both penning this sucker and putting it together.
Yep, I will definitely go see more Rebecca Miller stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I've ever seen any of her stuff, so
there you go.
Now I want to see everything she's done.
Something to look forward to.
Plus, I know I'm going to get to hold hands with Murray while we watch this together on VOD. So
there you go.
That's the other part of this.
Something else to look forward to.
Yeah. So Murray's batting 500 again.
Yepperoo.
Now.
It sounds like Bryce was going to give it a Mondo. So.
Yeah, he should have given it a Mondo, Murray.
Exactly.
Because there was a lot of joy in his heart at the end of the movie.
I liked it a lot, but I can't just be throwing out Mondos left and right.
Yeah, you throw out Maz like really candy.
Do. That's because I see a lot of Maz out there.
I don't know. You see a lot of things that are rage, and you give Maz out because the acting was really good.
No, if it didn't make me angry, I'm not raging.
Well, you should be angry if the movie's terrible.
Exactly.
You even said the movie's terrible, but the acting was good. Well, doesn't make the movie.
Movie's terrible, but that's not a terrible movie. Isn't necessarily going to make me rage if it's got some stuff in it where I'm like,
acting.
Yeah, might be a good performance. There might be something that turns. It's like, you know what? Hated the movie, but
it's just one.
I kind of like that part.
Thing.
That made it worth watching to me. That makes it a mess.
The entire movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as there's something.
All right. No, I get it.
Didn't make me stop. I'm not going to offend my rages.
No, you're defending your Maz.
I'm not going to defend my Maz either.
Stuff you're giving out Maz. Like, usually it's Maz you give out.
You're like
candy.
Mr. Mondo lately, so whatever.
Yeah, well, this was Mondo.
Everything's Mondo. Everything is Mondo.
Everything is cool when it's Mondo.
Mondo.
Like Teams or something.
Mondo.
All right, well, let's talk about a movie that potentially could have been a Mondo. And maybe it still is.
Maybe.
Exorcist, Believer.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. No, that's not going to be a Mondo.
What are you talking about?
Well, let's see.
I've said this at least 1,000,000 times before, and that's at least 1,000,000 times before.
I don't think that's
You
true.
have a perfect movie.
I don't think you comprehend what a million is.
No. I say that like when I'm not with you guys, I'm talking to other people. So I literally.
That's not true
do you want me to do the math? Should I do the math right now?
You can do the math if you want. It doesn't come to a million. I don't care what you said. You haven't said anything in your life 1,000,000 times. You haven't even said one word in your life 1,000,000 times.
Oh, I can 100%. Million's not that much when you start counting it by 100,000s.
Yeah, million.
It's only 10,000,000s.
It is only 10,000,000. We'll give you that.
I'm going to say
it's only 2 500,000.
Exactly. And I'm going to say this again for today. This is 1,000,001 times.
Yeah, I got to shut up.
So
say
exactly.
what you're going to say.
I've said this at least.
Times.
I've said this at least 1,000,001 times now.
Yes.
You have a perfect movie. Just leave it and create new stories. This takes a similar style to the original film. That it has a slow to build and layers character development and concepts that really work for this type of film it is telling you. You don't need to bring in nostalgia to try and get either a lost audience or a new audience that just make a great story. That's all I'm saying. This starts out with a really good idea and builds suspense with missing children, and then it slowly throws every motherfucking thing at this with so much convoluted ideas and stories and brings the Catholics, the evangelical Christians, and the African Christianity to create a Mecca faith collective, or the Avengers of Exorcist, to conquer the devil or convert us to Jeebus. I don't know which one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has a very similar sort of feel to The Exorcist. But in this case, it's overshadowed by confusion, both in the story and by the characters' actions. There are some good things in this movie. There is some good horror. The first half of the movie did a good job developing the characters and the relationships of the family and friends of the Mecca community. But please, just stop trying to put nostalgia to stories of today. This idea of tying this Exorcist took away from the story. Plus, I almost got the feeling that they had some good writers. And then what happened was, through the movie, those writers went on strike. and wanted to finish the story, so asked ChatGPT to finish it based on a few criteria ideas it fed into the ChatGPT, which in turn, it spit out the convoluted demon fight. And because there was no writer to check that it made any sense, they said, yeah, see, we don't need writers or fact-checking or whatever. Let's just get these actors to finish it before they go on strike. And filled everything in with CGI smoke, snapping a neck or two, called it a day, and voila. Exorcist, believer. Believe in the power that Christ compels you to use GPT to finish the story for you. That's what I felt.
Okay.
As an Exorcist film, this was awful. As a standalone demon film, it could have been good, but because of the last 30 minutes, it is also pretty awful. Did I hate this enough to rage is the question.
That is the question.
I'm going to leave that hanging for now. Okay. I want to hear what Bryce has to say.
I don't have to say much. The Exorcist believer does not live up to the legacy of the original. It is completely unnecessary, and if this is the script that they came up with, I am not sure why they decided to make a sequel 50 years later. There is nothing here that merits watching it. At the end of the day, it's just like every other exorcism flick that has tried to capture the essence of The Exorcist, and just like every one of those films, it has failed miserably. Ellen Burstyn was completely wasted in this, and the end was unsatisfying and a little hokey. This was a rage, not one of those rages where everything is so bad I had to rage, but rather there was just so much meh that by the time you add up all the mehs, it made me a little angry. All that meh made me rage.
There you go, handing out mehs like candy. Yeah, you know...
That's not a meh, it's a rage.
You know, the thing that made me the most angry about this is that they try to tie it to The Exorcist. If they would have just made this a demon possession film, and not tried to do like,
there was stuff that was okay in this, but as I say, I was just so underwhelmed by everything, and I was looking. I was looking forward to this, bringing Ellen Burstyn back and blah blah blah. I was actually looking forward to this. I'm like, you know what, David Gordon Green, he's probably put together something, that's at least going to be okay. If you liked or hated the last 3 Halloweens, you got to admit that there was stuff in each one of them that was worth seeing. In this, I was just so underwhelmed by every single scene. There's 1 or 2 things where I'm like, okay, that was kind of cool, but there was just so much freaking meh in it. I mean, I was just like, I was bored. I was bored watching this movie, and it just made me angry because it doesn't live up to the legacy of The Exorcist. So why do it? Why tie it to that classic? And I hate the fact that this is tied to that classic.
So here's a question for you.
Yes.
So do you think that if they just took out Ellen Burstyn's character, and I don't want to put the spoiler at the end, but her name is on IMDb.
Yeah.
So everybody knows Reagan's showing up. Like, everybody knows Linda Blair's going to show up.
She's the first person billed in the movie, by the way.
Yeah. That is the most, like, it was such a...
stupid.
It's just, talk about something being anticlimactic. I mean, she's in it for like a split second, and it's just dumb. Why?
Every reason that they're in there, like, if you took them completely out of the story, the story was exactly the same.
Yeah, no,
like they didn't need it.
Ellen Burstyn, to spoiler alert, she's in it for like a cup of coffee. I mean, I would say maybe 5 minutes of the movie.
So they basically use the 2 of them to try to sell this
movie.
Tickets.
That's exactly what it is, Murray. So that's ultimately where my anger for this comes, because I think there was a story here that they could have told if they didn't try to make it Exorcist.
Apparently, he's got 2 more. Like, he's already written the scripts for it, so there's going to be 3 of these, apparently.
Yeah.
If somehow Reagan's actually in the next one, this would almost make some sort of sense. But I don't even think that that's going to happen. But I just don't see it.
I don't think it's going to make enough money. I don't think enough people are going to see this.
I think it'll be fine. It didn't have this. It's not going to have the success that his Halloween, trilogy.
Yeah, because there's not once in this whole movie that someone says evil dies tonight.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the whole reason people saw it too. Halloween 2 was because evil dies tonight.
Yes, but then it didn't.
But then it
Is not the demon in The Exorcist actually the devil?
No, it's Pazuzu.
It's Pazuzu.
Because the devil doesn't die.
How do you know?
How do you know?
How do you know? Devil could maybe.
Hasn't run into Ellen Burstyn on a bad day.
Well, there's a bunch of
She'll take
believers
down
right
the
now.
devil.
I just watched a documentary about these believers that believe that Jesus is coming back
Then I
with
saw
a
her
sword.
face.
And his
Well,
sword is going to be an
believer.
AK-17 to fight the demon, the devil, or something like that.
That should work.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have some other things to unpack here.
Go for it.
What was the whole thing with the mecha fight? Like,
I don't
what?
know.
Like the whole part at the end when they're battling the demon. Like, first of all, who was leading the mecha?
I was so disinterested by that
When
time.
it got there.
I'm watching what's going on in this. And I'm like, all I'm doing is just asking, why did they make this? That's all that ran through my head, like for the last 20 minutes.
And
like,
the
what
other
am I
thing,
watching
the other
here?
thing that I kept asking myself is, there's two of them.
Yep,
They're both possessed, I guess, simultaneously by the same demon.
that is the idea.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
then I don't even understand the part where they have to choose.
And then they
Because
choose.
that's in the trailer.
And then they got to choose, and then of course the devil's going to screw you over whoever you choose.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, exactly.
Well, not the devil,
But I
but
don't understand.
Pazuzu.
I don't understand
What?
why they would have to choose. Like there was nothing in the story that said, it was just all of a sudden they say, yeah, we got two kids. One of them's got to die, and now you got to choose.
Because
So
Pazuzu's out there. He's
Pazuzuing?
teaching. Yeah, he's teaching life lessons.
he's Pazuzuing.
He's teaching life lessons.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's it. Pazuzu's not so bad. But you know what? I also wanted to bring up. So I did happen. The three of us actually went together to see the original Exorcist in cinemas.
When did we do that? Saturday.
Prior to us going to see this one.
We did.
Yes.
Which was a kind of a mistake in one respect, because man, did it made this one look bad.
Yeah, absolutely. But then afterwards, I watched 2,
Oh,
and then I also watched 3.
I liked 3.
3 is good,
3 is good.
but 3 is a murder mystery.
It's a little different, yeah.
Yeah, it's a murder mystery that is kind of tied to the original.
And that's probably why I liked it, because it wasn't trying to be it was, even though it was The Exorcist 3, it's like, there's an exorcist in it. Cool.
Yeah, there's an exorcist in it, but there's also
But it wasn't
George
really
C.
tied.
Scott,
George
which
C.
is
Scott.
pretty much the whole movie.
Yeah.
And he is fucking amazing in that.
It's so good.
But
yeah, it's completely, it's not really, it's a sequel, but not really.
FYI, I'm going to talk about George C. Scott a little later in our podcast. So
fair
be
enough.
ready for that.
I was wasn't
born ready for
I wasn't
that.
born ready. It took me about 5 years to be ready, but by the time I was in kindergarten,
You're ready.
I was ready.
All right, for George C. Scott.
Absolutely.
Patton.
Yes.
All right. So it was a rage, Murray. I'm sorry. I couldn't get it to a man. I tried really hard because the first part I was okay with.
Anybody could, it would have been you.
But yeah, I do love my demons. But once we've seen when evil lurks,
Yes.
where evil lurks or when evil lurks,
The
the evil's lurking.
Right. Indeed.
That's the important thing.
There you go.
Seeing that as a demon movie, it's spoiled me for every single other movie. It's when evil lurks. So if you want to see a demon movie that will curl your toes and go, I want to see some motherfucking demons, you watch When Evil Lurks.
Cool.
And if this has a sequel, I'll be watching that. I'll be lining up to see it.
There you go.
Yeah. So, wah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't a fantastic week.
No, it wasn't.
Next week's going to be worse.
Wow. I don't know what's happening next week.
Not much.
We'll have to improvise.
All right. The joy is coming.
Yeah, not today.
What? Are these your favorite demon movies of all time?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Are these your favorite Exorcist movies of all time?
Nothing.
Are you going to talk about your joy of seeing The Exorcist in
No.
cinemas?
You mean the movie that I almost gave a rage to?
What?
I've seen it twice now. I didn't like it any better the
And
second
you didn't
time.
like Pazuzu?
I did attempt to watch a horror film.
What?
Being the,
Halloweeny type.
Halloweeny season.
Yes.
I saw it was on TV. I thought I'd tape it. What the hell? I'd never even heard of it. No idea.
So
what
it was on
about.
TV, so it's
Well,
edited.
No, it was late night, so it said it was 18 plus. There was definitely swearing in it.
Yeah.
But
Was there boobies?
Very little else.
Was there
No.
boobies? Oh.
What was it?
It was called Gaia
Gaia.
from 2021. It's from South Africa. Yet it had subtitles. Like
What? Why
not
would-
just hard to understand English,
Why
but
did you
another
watch that?
language, whatever language they were talking in.
Okay.
She knew as same as the people. Like basically, it's this park ranger and her, I don't know, boyfriend, whoever, who are sailing down the river, and she has one of those drone camera things, and it crashes. She goes to check it out, and all of a sudden, there's like these scary dudes who are, got all kinds of
Like Slee Stacks?
mud and stuff on them.
So
like,
Slee Stacks,
I don't know what that is.
like the Land of the Lost.
Land of the
Anyway.
Lost.
So, and she steps in like a trap of some kind. Basically, gets a big chunk of wood stuck into her foot.
This sounds good.
So, and she, I don't know if she passes out or she just makes it to their cabin.
Yeah.
She doesn't know it's their cabin.
So there's a cabin in the woods?
There's a cabin there.
Oh, cabin in the
Nice.
jungle.
And I guess she passes out or
Welcome to
something.
the jungle,
she wakes
baby.
up and the
You
two,
can die.
The two crazy bushmen are there.
Oh, yeah.
Slee Stacks too?
And they actually help her
Crazy
get better
Bushman.
and stuff. But there's like,
Slee Stacks.
I don't know, Gaia is like this.
How's it spelled?
Gaia, G-A-I-A.
Gaia. It's like the god Gaia.
G-A-I-A or G-A-Y-A?
No, G-A-I-A.
Oh, here it is, 2021.
But yeah, it just, and these creatures were like Earth.
It looks awesome just from the poster.
Yeah, no, it really wasn't.
I'm looking at the poster and I'm
And
like, I need to see this.
The creatures
Me
in this
too.
movie reminded me of those zombie things from Last of Us.
So
The mushroom head things.
Slee Stacks.
I don't know,
Yeah,
whatever. I don't know
Slee
what that is. Anyway, I got halfway through it, and there was like no killing, and you saw the creatures like twice. That was it.
I'm kind
So
of.
yeah, I
now
couldn't,
I want to see
I couldn't
nothing
make it
but
through.
this.
I'm
All right,
like,
Mur.
So what is it?
Thank you for the recommendation.
I hate horror films, and I tried to make it through this one. And I
Okay, knowing us,
Yes.
do you think we'll like it?
couldn't. I don't know. You might. It's weird enough.
Fair enough.
Well, so it did have some weird. And there's Slee Stack type
And
creatures.
Slee
Well,
Stacks.
her boyfriend.
I
dude-
love Slee Stacks.
Well, I don't know what the hell that is. her boyfriend dude gets captured by the creatures.
Yes.
And she comes
By the
upon the
flea
guy
stacks.
after he's been like whatever happened to him.
Penetrated?
Right.
And like
Yeah.
half of him is like plant. Like
Oh.
half
Nice.
his face is like plant. I don't know.
Oh, like as in Gaia, as in the
Gaia
Earth.
as in Mother Earth.
Mother
yes.
Earth, yeah.
Who likes to
Cool.
kill humans apparently.
All right, so
Yeah, well.
so Bryce and I may be talking about
We've
this
been
next week.
screwing over Mother Earth for
Yeah, it's time for her to
centuries, so
screw
yeah,
back.
it's
No, I
exactly-
tried to watch it. I just couldn't get through
She
it.
can only take so much.
So,
So you know
speaking
what-
of only take so much, what caused you to finally turn it off?
It wasn't scary.
Oh, okay.
And
But
the
you know
story
nothing's
The
scary.
story was stupid.
The only thing that scares
Like,
you
I
lately.
was waiting for some kind of showdown between the humans and these like Earth creature types.
but maybe that was going to happen at the end.
Yeah, like the last 10 minutes of it, maybe.
Gotcha.
It took too long. You know, I did rewatch though.
Oh,
It's
okay.
also on TV.
Yes.
Okay.
Jaws.
Ah.
Nice.
I never get tired of that one.
No.
Did it end differently this time?
Nope.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Shark still dies.
Excellent.
The shark still wins a couple of times.
Shark still.
Yes.
Somebody posted on Facebook. It's like, yeah, what if they remade Jaws except people know the shark's out there and they still go to the beach anyway? And I'm thinking, wasn't that the Meg?
Yeah, it was. Or every person that lives in South Africa, because that's like the highest populated
Is it?
shark attacks.
I thought
Yeah.
it was Australia.
There's one beach in South Africa that's the most.
Oh, why do they go in the water? That's just stupid.
Yeah.
Taking their chances.
Yep. Gotta live.
They're just stupid.
Can't just be living in fear.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Sweet, sweet rage. Oh, how I love you so. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, my rage this week. is please stop making sequels. Like, just stop making sequels. But on top of that,
Especially 50 years later.
50 years later, and they don't even mention the other two in the middle there, so they're pretending like 2 didn't happen and 3 didn't happen and
Yes.
and whatever, and 4 didn't happen, and
There was
the
no
prequel to 4, and then
There was 2 prequels.
there you go, 2 prequels to 4. Like,
No, there's 2 prequels to the first one, you
Oh.
monkey.
just if and the whole reason we kind of talked about it earlier is that the only reason they tied this to The Exorcist is so that they could make 2 more, and maybe Ellen Burstyn, if she lives long enough, and Linda Blair are going to come back as mother-daughter combo to battle Pazuzu again in the second one.
I don't think they're
this
gonna be
sounds
in it.
terrible. I hope this. I don't ever want to say that because I'm such a lover of the first Exorcist, but I hope this movie bombs so badly that the studio loses so much money. It says, let's never make another Exorcist movie ever again.
Like Dragon Ball Evolution.
That's not it. No, that's not like that
Well, no.
at all.
Yeah, it's exactly like Dragon Ball.
No, we don't know
Evolution.
that. You're going to tell us about Dragon Ball Evolution. Don't get ahead of yourselves. We still have lots more to get to before
We're
we
going
get
to talk about Dragon Ball Evolution?
That's right. We're damn
awesome.
straight.
I just watched it last week.
That's right. 3 times. I know. Yeah, so just leave The Exorcist alone. Just don't touch it anymore. Go back and do all your other stupid stuff.
They are going to be elbow deep in The Exorcist. So the easy thing to rage about would be The Exorcist, which Jim has already done, so I'm not going to rage about that.
What?
I'm going to rage about horror on TV. I love the fact that AMC has like a whole month of horror, and it's really cool, except for the fact that they're so badly edited that it's just ridiculous. I mean, we're in a day and age where I don't think you have to edit as much as that they do. It's absolutely just ridiculous right now. It takes away from the flow of everything. They were literally cut out like 2 or 3 minutes, like at a time out of these movies. They still run like 2.5 freaking hours because every 2 minutes they're running a commercial. But just bad. Taking a R-rated movie and making it PG for TV is my rage. It takes away from the flow. The movie doesn't even feel the same anymore. And I don't even know why they're doing it half the time. I get some of it, but there is stuff they cut out where it's like, really? You cut that out? Like Freddy can't say, how sweet dark meat? Come on!
That's racist.
Come on!
I don't know.
It's like, are we that?
Is Freddy going to get cancel cultured now?
Exactly. Are we that sensitive
He's a
about
sociopath.
everything now?
Freddy's dead.
He's yeah.
It's like, for crying in a bucket.
Yeah, I would jump on that bandwagon, but here's the difference, apparently, between you and I.
Yes.
Is that I refuse to watch movies off of a TV show.
Every time I start doing it, I feel like an idiot.
You are an idiot.
Why am I watching this?
You are a complete idiot.
As someone who is an expert in television,
Yeah, okay.
I will tell you, there are certain times you can watch them, some you can't.
Yeah, see, I just choose not to.
But I don't have 20 streaming services like you guys do.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't come on TV, I don't end up watching it usually.
Well, maybe that's a good thing.
I do have Crave, but
I get if it's network television, but if it's not network television, just put a disclaimer up and let's live our
that I
lives.
saw was on Much, but it was like 11 o'clock at night.
So you're saying Much doesn't edit?
Well, depending what time it runs.
But that's the whole thing.
If it runs at 2 in the afternoon, absolutely.
If it's not network, then it should be game on.
You just don't watch in the middle of the day. But no,
Yeah.
AMC was the absolute worst offender.
Yeah.
Back when
There
I
was
had
another.
AMC, they were
There's
terrible.
another one.
They have a
that's
whole month of
Spike
Halloween
TV.
movies.
Do you remember Spike TV
Spike
when that
was also pretty
existed?
bad.
I do
Yeah.
remember Spike
I don't know if
TV.
that still exists because I don't
No,
have that.
don't believe it does.
It's Paramount now.
Oh, Paramount turned in from. See,
Spike
Paramount.
Paramount has great stuff on it now.
Well, no, not Paramount, like the streaming service, but the Paramount TV. And last time I had it, it was all like bar rescue and crap like that. Like
Sounds awful.
And they had lip
What the
sync.
hell is Bar Rescue?
Some guy he's like Gordon Ramsay, except he goes to bars.
What the
That doesn't
hell?
sound
Who
like
the hell
Spike.
is Gordon Ramsay?
That doesn't
Anyway.
sound like Spike.
Well, that's what he originated on.
No.
Anyway.
Well, the ultimate your story is people who watch movies on TV are terrible
They
people.
don't have a choice.
Well, why don't these networks just show the movies? That's what I want.
And my
I
point
want to be able to watch
they
TV.
do after like 9 o'clock at night. They do show them unedited, except for commercials.
Except on AMC
Except on AMC
and Paramount
and ABC.
and ABC. So there's a few
Yeah,
exceptions.
it's just so-
What about
you're just
H-
making me more
What
angry.
about HGTV? Are the movies edited on
Garden TV?
HGTV? What about the Women Network? Are they edited on the Women Network?
I don't know.
Hey, Bram Stoker's Dracula was on T&E, which is Travel and Entertainment.
Okay,
And I
so
watched
did
that,
they-
and it
did
wasn't
they edit it?
No, it wasn't edited.
Hmm.
It's not even a movie channel. It's like, so it depends on where you. But yeah, I agree with you on AMC. They suck,
Okay,
Yeah.
so ultimately, I
Yeah.
would agree with you. AMC sucks.
There we go.
and they're the biggest
we-
movie franchise in America.
Can we
so.
get TV show not movie?
What?
Oh, you're talking so AMC is not the
AMC
same as AMC the TV.
No, they are.
What?
The AMC channel is owned by AMC, which,
Is it?
which is the big movie
Really?
company. Yeah, it's the same company.
Who knew?
That's how they get all those movies.
Huh. Who knew? I thought it was just The
Well,
Walking
you
Dead.
could ask somebody who's actually in the industry.
No, they got more
I'll
than The
tell you.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's what all they have these days.
Okay, well.
And that's not
That's-
even real.
that's
That's not
a-
even real horror.
That's a third of their program.
Oh,
Oh, no,
Literally.
no. The other 2/3 are Walking Dead spin-offs.
Well, no, that's why I'm saying no. It is a third, including all the spin-offs. Like 8 hours out of every 24 hours on AMC is some sort of Walking Dead,
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly.
Perfect.
That's why. I
and
can't
then
do it.
the other is like Breaking Bad and Better Call
And
Saul.
edited movies.
and edited
And
movies.
Shawshank.
All right,
anytime.
so-
Yeah, and Shawshank Redemption
To sum
they
up,
show like weekly.
it's AMC is
Your rage is
rage
AMC.
worthy.
AMC is poopy.
There we go.
Well,
Done.
I can tell you, as someone who's been to an AMC theater, I agree with you on that side as well.
There you go. So
They
everything
were, they,
AMC is
They
awful.
were a subpar theater.
There you go. Our American friends, if you disagree with us, let us know.
Yeah. As if they have a choice.
Yep.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Oh, I haven't heard this music for a while.
I don't even know what this is.
I'm
I
kind of
forgot what it is.
I'm kind of red rocking it over here.
What's this move? What is
Hanging
this
out with
music?
Baxter so much. That's a term I had picked up for a while.
Baxter, good boy.
So I've got a few things to add to the list, and you can tell me whether or not you want all of it all in one nugget, or do you want me to just give you some of the nugget?
How much nugget is there?
There's 4 different nuggets.
4 different.
You know what?
outlets.
I'm going to just
Don't-
make a decision. I'm
yeah,
going to give
don't
you
do
2
4.
nuggets.
Give me 2 nuggets.
Okay, so the first nugget
Okay.
is I'm putting up George C. Scott as mesmerizing. Because rewatching him in Exorcist Believer, I remembered how much I really love him. And I don't think I've seen him in anything
I thought he was dead.
for a long time. That's what well, he maybe is dead. But still, he can still be mesmerizing.
George C. Scott.
Yeah. Should we talk a little bit about what George C. Scott has done so you can have a vision?
Yeah, kind of.
Patton?
Give me a refresher course in the filmography of George C. Scott. Let me
Tell me.
picture these performances in my mind's eye.
All right. So,
Yes.
picture him in The Exorcist 3. He was pretty mesmerizing.
He was amazing
in that.
Yep.
What about the movie he's probably least known for?
Hmm?
Patton.
Yeah.
When he won an Oscar for?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's-
well, we didn't, we don't care if he won an Oscar.
Yeah, no,
he was pretty damn mesmerizing.
He was
in it.
mesmerizing in that. What else you
Okay.
got?
What about the movie The Hustler?
Yeah, he had some competition in there, Newman and.
Yeah, well, so if you're wanting to put Newman on, we may have to watch The Hustler.
No,
to
you know what?
see.
Newman didn't always mesmerize.
No,
me.
he didn't.
Yeah, I would give it to
Okay,
George C.
wait.
Scott there.
Okay. What about The
Yeah.
Changeling? I mean,
Yeah.
that Canadian gem
Yeah.
that he was in.
I forgot he was in it until you
Yeah.
just said it. Now I can totally. Yeah, I see.
Right?
Yeah. Well, he's definitely the most mesmerizing thing in that. I don't think that gets him on the list alone. But
no, but I mean,
yes. Yeah,
right?
I can see where you're going with this.
Okay, now this one's going to take a little bit of a step back because it was later in his career.
Okay.
When he was in the movie Gloria.
Gloria.
I really want your number.
Okay, what was Gloria again?
It's the one with Sharon Stone.
Oh God, Gloria!
Yeah.
Yes,
The movie's terrible.
The movie's terrible. And he actually,
but he was pretty damn mesmerizing.
All right.
Do I really need to go any further?
You know what? He's mesmerizing. Fine.
Yeah.
Put him on the list.
All right, Mur. So now we can start taking some other people off because George C. Scott is officially mesmerizing. Unless you've got a veto to that.
I honestly don't care either way.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it because you didn't like him in Exorcist 3?
I have never seen a single movie he's been in.
Oh,
never
you
seen
should
George
watch
C. Scott?
Exorcist 3, especially because you've seen Exorcist 1.
Oh, because I enjoyed the first one so
yeah, but you know
much.
what? You will
This one's totally
You
different.
will like this one because it's a mystery, and you
It's more
love
of
mysteries. In fact, it's probably the best mystery you'll ever see
There you go.
because you know what? It's a mystery worth solving.
Because it's a mystery worth solving.
Whereas all the ones that Kenneth Branagh does are not worth solving.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a choice of A or B for our second choice.
Okay. Give me B.
All right, B is Adam Egoyan. I'm putting him up as Undoubted.
Undoubted. Well, then I guess you have to list off the...
Number 1 was the last one we saw, was Seven Veils, which was Mondo.
It was Mondo.
Okay. Guest of Honor, which for me was Mondo.
Guest of Honor was Mondo.
Okay. Remember, which was Mondo.
Remember was Mondo.
Okay, now this one I haven't seen.
Okay.
It's called The Captive.
I've seen The Captive.
And?
It was Mondo.
All right. Devil's Knot, which to me was Mondo.
Yeah.
Okay. This one was meh for me. Chloe.
Chloe was meh.
Okay. What about Adoration?
I actually really liked Adoration.
Yep.
It was Mondo.
It was Mondo for me too. So this one, I'm not sure whether or not this came to cinemas or not because there's not a lot on it. It's on IMDb, but it doesn't have a lot on it, and it's called Citadel, which is a documentary he made following his wife during work. So I don't know if it was actually released in cinemas. I couldn't find it anywhere.
I can't imagine that it was, but it could have been. I think you got to skip that one.
Okay. I'm okay with that. So I have a backup. The one after that is Where the Truth Lies.
Yeah, which I freaking love Where the Truth Lies.
There you go.
That is
so
Mondo.
it's official.
Hey, yeah, he's undoubted.
There you go.
And he's a heck of a nice guy.
Yeah, the nicest director we've ever met.
Sure, rub that in.
What?
Not that he was here, I didn't get to meet him.
Oh.
Well, he'll come back.
Should have been hanging out, stalking him on the
Yeah, you should have been stalking him at the escalators
Jim.
like I did.
Some of us had to work.
Aw, Murray, but you got paid. You got money in your jeans.
Not yet, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, there you go.
Someday, though.
All right, so
Someday,
Murray, have
will-
you got any rages that you've seen of Adam Egoyan's?
I don't think I've seen more than 3 of his.
All right.
All right, then.
So it's official. We're adding 2 people to the list this week, thanks to moi, I will say. Done and done. Now, Murray, do you have a challenge for us for next week?
Does it involve George C. Scott?
I literally have
'Cause I'd
not
love to see
looked at
George C.
this thing in over a month.
All right. Well, you know what? Murray's going to
say
find us
no.
something for the following week because with Halloween coming up, we're probably going to be busy watching horror movies. But be prepared next week for the 2 other surprises that I'm bringing forward next week, who we didn't get to talk about this week.
Cool.
And just so you know, one of them is going to be putting up for Mesmerizing,
Okay.
and the other is being put up for Undoubted as well.
Ah. Fair enough.
Actually,
I'm
you know
almost
what?
looking forward to it.
it's 2 Mesmerizings and 1 Undoubted,
But with only 2 people.
with only 2 people.
So someone could get double listed.
Someone could get double listed, which is very rare on our show. You know what? I'm going to put the Mesmerizing for it on that. Because I think everybody here can agree that Werner Herzog is mesmerizing.
Yeah.
Right?
I literally never heard of him until I saw he had a documentary out.
All right.
What?
Never heard of him.
So we got 2 on the Mesmerizing.
All right,
Because Murray can't veto it. He's never seen any of his movies.
There we go.
All right. We got a busy week, man.
We do.
That's good.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't be happier now.
Excellent.
Now we get to watch George C. Scott movies. If George C. Scott was in a movie with someone like Viola Davis at the beginning of her career, he could be the one that takes her off. I don't know.
I don't think they've ever been in a movie together.
I don't know. You know where you
never know.
You never know. Never know.
You never know.
Right?
Sure.
Murray's now got a whole bunch of people he can research.
There you go.
Awesome.
Awesome.
It is awesome.
It is.
I'm busy enough already.
All right. Well, I guess that's enough for the list.
Back at the dawn of time, there was nothingness. Then, something, be it intelligent design or some Big Bang thingy, or maybe it was just happenstance, but then there was rage. Not just for some, but for all of my ragelings to enjoy. I know, my little ones, it seems like it's been 1 billion years since you were gifted with my sweet voice in your ear holes. But it has only been a few weeks since you've heard from your god of rage. Last time on Casey and the Rageettes, our baby boy Bryce was dared to watch Dragonball Evolution by you, our listeners. Serves him right for thinking the listener bag was a bag of meh. This week, Jim will get free rein to graze on any rage he can find loose in the wild. A choice also known as Rage or Dare or Casey. Now, let's see if all this time away from raging will have Bryce not feeling the rage and handing out mez like candy since it's so close to Halloween. Come on, Bryce.
All right.
I miss Casey.
Dragon Ball Evolution is about Goku, who is being trained by his...
A what? What's a Goku?
It's about Goku, who is being trained by his father in the martial arts. He's instructed by his father that he must not fight.
What's Goku's father's name?
I can't remember. So he goes to a party where the hot Asian chick he has been fantasizing about eating strawberries is going to be.
Ooh.
There he's confronted
I'm
by
lost.
like 6 dudes who want to kick his butt for reasons that I'm unsure of. Anyhow, he follows his father's wishes and does not strike them. However, by avoiding their punches and kicks, he makes them hit each other in a Three Stooges type scenario. Eventually, he dispatches them all without throwing a punch. Drunken Master would be proud. Meanwhile, some green dude named Riccolo, or maybe Piccolo, I don't really remember,
Not a cough drop.
is looking for 7... He's looking for 7 Dragon Balls, which apparently are pretty powerful and worth killing for, I guess. So then Goku is supposed to find Master Roshi to help him find his balls. In order to do this, he teams up with some random chick that also wants to collect balls. So they set out to find balls, and Master Roshi, who apparently knows where to find said balls. Then Chow Yun Fat shows up.
What?
And kicks Goku's butt.
No.
Turns out Chow Yun Fat is Master Roshi.
What?
And now he teams up with Goku and the random chick that's obsessed
Strawberry
with balls.
and
No.
strawberries? Oh.
No, that's a different chick.
Oh.
That's the Asian chick.
Oh.
This is just the random chick that's obsessed with balls.
Oh.
And they go on a quest.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, Master Roshi has a subscription to Bikini Quarterly. Not sure why that's relevant, but there it is.
So it's Chow Yun Fat's what, looking like at Maxim magazines?
He's like some old perv apparently in this. I don't understand it. Oh, and it turns out that the green guy Piccolo is a very, very bad man.
Huh.
So Master Roshi and Goku and random chick, and by this time his strawberry eating Asian chick is back, and they all team up to try to prevent Piccolo or Riccolo or whatever his name is from getting the balls that he craves. And then Master Roshi dies. So Master Roshi's now dead, which is a bummer. But eventually Goku ends up with all the balls. And because of that, he gets one wish. Because if you got all the balls, you get a wish.
Huh.
So rather than saving mankind by using it to banish Piccolo or Riccolo or whatever his name is.
He brought back Master Yoshi.
Exactly. You've seen this.
No, I just figured out the plot.
So he selfishly screws over mankind and brings Master Roshi back from the dead.
Oh, it's Roshi, sorry.
So this sets up a sequel that thankfully, I believe, has never materialized, as Piccolo is bent on revenge and he still wants all the balls, so the sequel's all set up. But this whole film was shot in front of green screen, and it looked like it.
Oh, no.
Chow Yun-Fat was embarrassing.
Whoa.
Why we'd agree to look like a clown is beyond me. And the rest of this cast are various levels of repulsive. This movie is garbage. It is a Dragon Ball of rage.
So is this? Was it enough to make potentially Chow Yun-Fat off the mesmerized list?
Well, he was still the most mesmerizing person in this film. But you know what? Yeah, the fact that he was... I think so.
Okay.
I think Chow Yun-Fat...
But I'm not going to watch this movie, so I can't agree with you, which we have to agree.
Oh.
So that's...
Well, then why'd you even bring it up?
I just brought it up to bug you.
That does bug me, because after watching this, he doesn't deserve to be on any list. The fact that he'd agree to be in this Dragon Ball of rage is
so
just
far,
beyond
everything
me.
I've seen him in, he's been mesmerizing.
Oh,
so
God.
we're going to have to watch him against somebody else to see if they're more mesmerizing than him. So you better... That should be who Murray works on now. Let's get rid of Chow Yun-Fat.
Chow Yun-Fat.
Michelle Yeoh, done.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
true. I can't believe we still haven't watched Crouching Tiger.
Well,
Hidden
Murray
Dragon.
hasn't dared us to see it, so...
What
And
else
the
is he
list
in?
is over. He's in a lot of stuff, but you
Was
know
he
what?
in that crappy movie you guys didn't like?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was mesmerizing in it.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, we hated
What's
the
it called?
movie.
The
Replacement
Replacement Killers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was mesmerizing. The movie was awful.
Yeah. That can happen, you know, Mur.
It just didn't happen.
Mesmerizing people can be in bad
Dragon
movies.
Ball Zero or
Yeah,
whatever it's called.
It's not the Undoubted list.
Yeah.
See, that's a different
right.
type of list.
Now I have to find something to watch for next week.
Dude.
You know, I'm kind of afraid that someone has found Dragon Ball Zero. The Dragon Ball, what's it called? Evolution? Drag show? What ball thing?
I don't know.
You know, I'm going to take from the dare bag. I'm not brave enough to hit Casey or you this week.
Yeah, you wuss.
I have to watch Monkey Bone, which happens to be one of my favorite comedies of all time. So this is going to be a Mondo. I don't even have to watch it, but I already own it, so I'll be watching it again anyway.
You're watching Monkey Bone?
I'm going to watch Monkey Bone.
With Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, and the best scene with Chris Kattan in it that has ever been invented. And if people haven't seen Monkey Bone, seeing Chris Kattan for 20 minutes is worth the price of admission.
There you go.
So the listener dare bag is no longer the dare bag of meh. When I watch Monkey Bone, it's going to be the listener dare bag of Mondo.
The listener dare bag of Mondo.
I can't wait to watch this. It's been so long since I watched it. Since last Christmas. Which I watch every year. It's my present to me, watching Monkey Bone.
I got to bring someone forward to get them on the mesmerized list so I can get Chow Yun-Fat off, because I know that she totally
We're gonna watch that movie that Murray's gonna tell us to watch, but he won't tell us till next week.
Because she is awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a pretty good week. Can't lie. It was fun. There's lots of rage. There's a bit of meh. There's a couple Mondos given out. So much fun. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer for the voice of Rage or Dare and our God of Rage. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site or Redbubble and TeePublic. And TeePublic has a sale. Get your parents a Film Rage bikini bottom. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us a rage. And that's it for this week. A rage on.
Rage on.